What's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Watch Sports Media. This is your Saturday Vibe edition. So today is that the Indiana Fever will play the Chicago Sky in the United Center, but don't expect a sellout because Caitlin Clark is not playing. She is playing assistant coach tonight. Had to get that out there. So there's the update news from Chloe Peterson, who actually talked about there will be a possibility that Stephanie White will not coach the team. She will not be with the team tonight. So it became official today that breaking news: Stephanie White will miss Indiana's game in Chicago at the United Center tonight. A team spokesman confirmed to me Austin Kelly will step in as acting head coach. Now, what do that mean for the Indiana Fever? Well, you don't have the main coach, but I'm sure Stephanie White has sent some instructions, some plays to Austin Kelly to help him coast on along. Now he do have his wife, Christmas Kelly and Brienne January there, and along with again assistant coach Caitlin Clark, who will be on the sidelines. You would think that this could be a game that the Indiana Fever could not win. But I do believe that the Indiana Fever will play better. I think they will play for Stephanie White. They were trying to get this win for Stephanie White. Now, whatever Stephanie White's going through, personal, or whatever the case might be, like I said, we can still send prayers out to her and her family and everything else. As for the game tonight, how will the Fever respond without Stephanie White on the sideline? How will Austin Kelly allow the Fever to play? Will the Fevers continue to play the same way? Will he do something different? Now, let's not get overboard because if he does if the Fever wins tonight, which I expect him to win anyway, and he does a good job, let's not run off the rails and say, hey, let's replace Stephanie White with Kelly. Because I'm sure that's going to become a narrative that's going to be on X because people are going to simply run with that. And we can't do that. I mean, it just we tend to take the little things or certain things from a game and just narrate it out and just spread it all through social media. And you shouldn't do that. But anyway, I expected him to stick to the game plan. I expected him to use the personnel very well. He's going to have a lot of help. Could we see Michaela Timpson? Because word is that Camila Cardoza is a game time decision, so she might not play. You know what that means? A lot of Leo Boston work, a lot of work with Leo Boston. I do believe that um Ari McDonald will have another tremendous game. I think her tremendous defense, her pressure on the ball is going to confuse the Sky players guards a little bit. Um, like I said, I think the Fever is the better team. I think they will have a better chance of winning this game. But also, CBS Sports, they did took they talked about the game. They did talk about the preview of the game, what they looking for. Um, knowing that this is the second game of 5 for the Commissioner's Cup. So without further ado, let's jump right into that video.
WNBA analyst Ty Carter for our Saturday preview. And Ty, we got to start with Indiana, Chicago on our air. Indiana 1-2 since Caitlin Clark went down. Their 2 losses by just 8 combined points, and it's really the offense that's looked different. How would you evaluate it so far without Clark?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the obvious here is the scoring is down. I would say significantly almost. They had 2 games scoring 90 points or more this season when Caitlin Clark was available. And since then, they haven't been able to crack that. Now, what looks really different is they haven't been able to seamlessly get into that pick and roll game that Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark were doing at will. And so I think that has been a little hard on the offense because there's nobody to make primary decisions when you think about Clark, who is leading the league with 9.3 assists per game. Now, a bright spot is for the Indiana Fever was Aari McDonald in her first game coming in. She had 7 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, and no turnovers. And so I think they were missing that addition of a primary ball handler who was able to get them into their sets and then also play at that same space or pace, in which they were looking for when Clark was available for them.
Yeah, we'll see how Aari McDonald is able to go against the Sky in game 2 of her time with the Indiana Fever. She was such a huge boost in that win against the Mystics. Now, meanwhile, for Angel Reese, Chicago, they're going for their 3rd straight win. This team, Ty, has been playing a lot better than they did in their first matchup versus Indiana. Their 2 wins against the Dallas Wings. Kamilla Cardoso is a game-time decision for the game due to a sore shoulder. So where do you have, I should say, where have you seen the most growth from them from their first game to where we are now?
I would say for the Chicago Sky, where we've seen the most growth is their decision making out of these post play and passes. So Kamilla Cardoso, like you already mentioned, she's going to be a game time decision, but it's been huge for her and Angel Reese to understand that they draw a lot of attention. And so within them drawing all of that attention, they have to be able to make the reads and decision making from out of the post. And I think they've done a fine job of that, of being able to find their shooters on the wing. And then second, the bench has played well. In that first win against the Dallas Wings, they were able to generate 30 bench points. So that's Rachel Banham coming in and making an impact, Rebecca Allen, Elizabeth Williams. And then in the second win, they had 24 bench points. And so I think that has made all the difference for them being able to spread the wealth.
Yeah, they are looking a lot better than they did in that first game, and they are the 2nd leading rebounding team in the league. So that is something they get on the glass very well. Now it's just a matter of really locking in offensively and getting that synergy between their bigs and their perimeter players. Now the Fever, they're favored by 4.5. The total is set at 168.5 for their very first WNBA game played at the United Center. Ty, who will be leaving the arena with a victory?
I have the Indiana Fever. I still think without having Caitlin Clark, they are the better team in this situation. And so I'm going to throw my number out there. I have them winning 81-73. I think it's going to be a tighter contest than that first matchup that we saw against them on the very first day of the season. But nonetheless, I have Indiana.
All right. So Ty Carter has Indiana winning again.
All right, so Ty Carter, she broke it down, what it's going to look like with the Indiana Fever. Um, Honestly, I think it will be a tight game to start out, but I do believe the Indiana Fever have enough and will pull away. I think Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell is going to have to be the scoring punch on this team because if Camila Cardozo does not play and she cannot go with a sore shoulder, then that means Aaliyah Boston needs to go to work. Now, we do going to have to pay attention because we know how this goes. The referees and the fouls. And if Aaliyah Boston starts cooking and she starts picking up fouls, that's going to be crazy. Now, I would love to see Michaela Timpson in the game against Angel Reese. That would be a good matchup for me because I think Michaela Timpson is strong enough, physical enough to keep Angel Reese off the board and can block her shots, get the rebound, and kick it out and press for fast breaks. We do need to generate fast break points in this game. We do need to out rebound them in this game because the Fever does lead the league in rebounding, and as you said, they just said that Chicago's second. So this is going to be a battle of wills. Um, we need better play from Natasha Howard. Me personally, I just don't feel like she'll start. I think Lexi Hall is going to be another key for us because I don't think they have anybody that match up with Lexi Hall, and I think her matchup, this could be a game for her to break out. I do believe Ari McDonald is going to have another fantastic game. She had 7 points the last game. I think that goes up a little bit more. I think she has about 10 to 12 points in this game. I think Sydney Colson will come in and play physical again, like she did the last game, and frustrate the Chicago Sky guards. So it's going to be tremendous. If the Chicago Sky turns the ball over numerous times and the Indiana Fever goes out on a run, this game could be over quick. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if the Indiana Fever beats them by 10 points tonight. I would not be surprised. But again, join me at 7:45 because I will be going live with special guest Nicole Malone. We're going to do play-by-play, and we're going to be locked in. So it's going to be a great game. Stay tuned. This is Live Wire Sports Media. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. It's your Saturday Vibe edition. You know what it is, because if you don't know, now you know.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.